Hello there, good people. Welcome to It's a Shaw Thing. I'm your host, Rob Shaw, here to talk a little fantasy football. It's Tuesday. It's time to get you caught up with the news and notes, and that means all the injury reports and also some of the changes in the depth chart. We start off with some unfortunate injury news to Kevin Smith, the starting running back for the Detroit Lions. Looks like he's out for the year. He's going to need some knee surgery. That's not good for him. He's gone on for 747 rushing yards so far this year. Maybe not that good. Same thing goes with the 5 touchdowns, but the one stat that does stick out for him this season was 450 receiving yards. So it's nice to see some chemistry formed with Smith, as well as rookie quarterback Matthew Stafford. So we all look forward to the time that we'll eventually see Stafford, Kevin Smith, Calvin Johnson, and Brandon Pettigrew all healthy and putting up big numbers on the gridiron. That's not going to happen for the remainder of this season. We move on to the Houston Texans, where they had some unfortunate news a couple weeks ago with Steve Slayton out for the season. We expected Ryan Moats and Chris Brown to pick up the carries from there, but instead it looks like we're going to see a little bit of Arian Foster picking up the starting position for the Texans in the backfield. So he'll get the start this weekend. This kid was undrafted out of Tennessee so far this year. Not too many yards, but this past weekend he did get some attention with 88 total yards of offense. The big news is this. They're playing against the St. Louis Rams this weekend. Favorable matchup. Expect him to have big numbers. Remember, Texans put up big numbers early with the passing game, so maybe in the second half, Foster and friends will get plenty of carries, so he has some decent fantasy value this weekend. Next up, Zach Miller, the tight end of the Oakland Raiders, one of my personal favorites, is done possibly for the season. Probably not going to play this weekend. He suffered his second concussion of the season. Really unfortunate. He's on pace for a career year, about to exceed 800 total yards of offense, but again, his second concussion suffered, so the basically only decent target for the Raiders this season might be shut down. We move on to Vince Young and the Tennessee Titans. Vince Young having a heck of a season. And even when he gets injured, he still helps us out as far as the fantasy managers go. Look what he did this past weekend. He barely played, yet he still went 6 for 8 passing with 132 yards and a touchdown. He also had one big rush for 44 yards, so he got his numbers that we needed from him fantasy-wise, but unfortunately he also pulled a hamstring. Hey, it's sidelined Jose Reyes basically for the entire season. Vince Young is actually probable for this weekend, so definitely pay attention to the news reports. Vince Young, though, he has now got some value, so they might want to rest him and think more about next season. But Vince Young said if it was the playoffs, he would have returned to last week's game. Well, my friends, that's all for now. If you have any questions, email us fantasycontent@opensports.com.